Hello fellow gamers, I'm Christopher Chrisman of Retro Game Network, and coming up next, a look at last week's retro video game news on the RGN Files for the week ending Saturday, November 17, 2018. In the RGN Files this week, Nintendo has officially won their lawsuit against the operators of a duo of ROM image distribution websites. This past July, the Big N sued Jason and Kristen Mathias, a husband and wife from Arizona, for over 180 counts of copyright and trademark infringement. The defendants admitted to operating two popular websites, Love ROMs and Love Retro, which allowed gamers to download copies of video game software for a multitude of legacy platforms, including those made for and by Nintendo. They also stated that they had admitted that their involvement with the two websites did in fact cause both direct and indirect infringement. When news of the lawsuit first became public over the summer, similar ROM distribution websites, such as the ISO Zone and MU Paradise, voluntarily removed all ROM and BIOS images from their websites as a precaution. Originally seeking statutory damages of over $100 million, the case has since been settled out of court, with United States District Attorney Jennifer Zips finalizing the lawsuit in favor of Nintendo. The defendants have been ordered to pay over $12.2 million in damages and have been issued a permanent injunction order prohibiting them from infringing on Nintendo's intellectual properties in the future. Alongside of the financial compensation, the couple has also been ordered to give Nintendo a copy of all of the related ROM images and emulation programs that supported Nintendo consoles at their expense. They were also ordered to forfeit the two internet domains to the company. The defendants have not yet spoken publicly about the outcome of the case. Giant Software, those responsible for the popular Farming Simulator series, will be releasing the 2019 edition of the game in upcoming days. First appearing on the gaming scene back in 2008, the series has been brought to a variety of different computers, consoles, and mobile devices over the past decade. On a retro gaming note, the same company will also be porting the game to the Commodore 64 computer platform for the very first time. Those that purchase the PC Collector's Edition of Farming Simulator 19 on physical media will also receive a second CD-ROM that contains the Commodore 64 version in the form of a floppy disk image. The said image can be played on your choice of an emulation program, as well as on the recently released C64 Mini console, and can also be transferred to an actual floppy disk for use on original Commodore hardware. Martin Rabel, the PR and marketing manager at Giant Software, stated that the release and success of the C64 Mini gave him the idea to port the game to the platform. He also said that limits had to be placed on the development so that the project did not overstretch the hardware's limitations. The game was completely developed by friends of employees at the company that had previous experience in programming the legacy computer. Alongside of its inclusion on the upcoming release of the modern version, Giant Software also plans to release the C64 port individually on its own at a later date. Both Farming Simulator 19 and its Commodore 64 port will get released this Tuesday and will cost just under $40. SNK is getting into the holiday spirit with the announcement of their upcoming Neo Geo Mini Christmas Edition console. A spin-off of the two Neo Geo Mini throwback consoles that were released earlier this year, the new Christmas Edition will offer a total of 48 built-in games from SNK's Neo Geo library. A handful of the titles from the original Mini console's lineup have since been removed, while other games have since been added. The games that have been added, which are new to the lineup, are the three games in the Fatal Fury series, League Bowling, Ninja Combat, Real Bout Fatal Fury Special, Savage Rain, Soccer Brawl, Super Sidekicks, and Super Spy. In addition to the modified game lineup, the upcoming console will also be given a slight physical makeover that is appropriate to the time of year. Featuring a new red and gold color scheme, the Neo Geo Mini Christmas Edition will also feature festive stickers and the words Merry Christmas printed on additional stickers that can be applied to the case. The contents will also include two brand new Christmas-themed controllers that are also in the same style as the home Neo Geo CD console from the mid-1990s. Alongside of the festive stickers, you will also get a slip mat, HDMI cable for play on a television set, as opposed to the built-in display, as well as a set of screen protectors. It will also be packaged in a Christmas-style box. At this time, there has been no official release date or pricing information made public. The entire Neo Geo throwback lineup was created to celebrate the 40th anniversary of SNK as a company. In other holiday-related news, Retro USB has made the official announcement of their yearly 8-bit Xmas NES homebrew cartridge. A yearly tradition since 2008, the 11th entry in the series has gamers hitting the virtual ski slopes, scoring by making your way through the gates, or hitting the ramps and pulling off tricks for big points. In addition to the Christmas skiing game itself, the ability to upload your high scores via the methods of ABS and scoreboard transfer from previous entries have also been included. Just like the other games in the series, the NES cartridges used to create the physical media are built using completely new materials, with no donor cartridge being sacrificed. One of the traditions of the yearly event is having the game be produced in a clear cartridge casing, complete with functional blinking Christmas lights, looking best obviously with a top-loader NES system. The cartridges include the silicone multi-region lockout chip for maximum compatibility with authentic 8-bit Nintendo systems, under the NTSC, PAL-A, PAL-B, or Asian standards. It has also been tested as compatible on various NES clone hardware, including the Famicom Twin, NEX, and Retro Dual consoles. However, it is not compatible with Hyperkin's Retron 5. Retro USB has begun accepting pre-orders for 8-Bit Xmas 2018, which will include the cartridge itself, a clear dust sleeve, and a printed pin-up style Christmas card. The cost of the set is $46, while a ROM image for use on NES emulators is also available at no cost. The physical versions will begin shipping out after Thanksgiving and will be available for purchase until New Year's Eve. Over a decade ago, a development team known as Champ Games began working on a new design of the 1980 arcade title Wizard of War for the Atari 2600. This homebrew recreation was planned to be more accurate with the original arcade version. While the programming was put on hiatus several years ago, in recent months the program code has been resurrected to take advantage of the newest technology available in the world of homebrew programming. Said advances will make it possible to include CDF bank switching created by Nathan Strong, which will allow for more enhanced graphics. In addition, it will also make it possible to include all of the original arcade version mazes, as well as a more accurate translation of the arcade game's sound effects. It will also include voice synthesis, in which over 50 phrases have already been programmed into the code. The homebrew will also support Nathan Tolbert's revamped multi-joystick adapter, which will allow 2 joysticks and the Atari Vox device to be plugged in simultaneously. It will also be able to save a list of high scores. Other plans include additional enhancements to the advanced mode, as well as the addition of the team mode, which is slated to include a team score of the 2 players' combined score total. It would also let players bring a gamer back to life that has run out of lives, as well as offer customized maze programming. Champ Games has also made a work-in-progress ROM available for beta testing at no cost via Atari Age. Wizard of War Arcade is presently 90% completed and should be available for sale in April of 2019. And finally this week, this past Tuesday, Activision, in association with Toys for Bob, released the highly anticipated Spyro Reignited Trilogy. The collection includes 3 remastered editions of the 3 games that made up the Spyro the Dragon trilogy, which were originally released for the Sony PlayStation between 1998 and 2000. The game was originally planned to be sold this past September to coincide with the original game's 20th anniversary. After it was discovered that large portions of the 2 sequels were not included on the physical media releases, Activision announced a delay, with the assumption by gamers being that it was done to place all of the program code on the optical disc media. However, with the release this past Tuesday, this rumor was confirmed to be untrue, as the downloadable content is still required for gameplay, even those that purchase the physical media. PlayStation 4 gamers will require an update 19 gigabytes in size to play the sequels, while Xbox One players will have an update that is over 42 gigabytes in size. Activision's original statement about the required downloads had mentioned that updates and patches after a purchase is, quote, quite common, and that sufficient notification has been given to gamers on the packaging as well as online. This contributor, Retro Game Network, recommends performing the downloads during periods of personal sleep. Spyro Reignited Trilogy is available for the PS4 and Xbox One platforms on both physical media and via digital download. The cost of the new collection is just under $40, regardless of your platform or obtainment method of choice. That's it for this week's edition of the RGN Files. For those listening on BGM on FM, please stay tuned. There'll be more music coming up shortly. For complete details of any of this week's stories, visit RetroGameNetwork.com. And don't forget to check us out on our social media outlets on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube at Retro Game Network, and on Twitter and Twitch at RetroGameNet. For the Retro Game Network, I'm Christopher Chrisman. This week's news stories provided by the following: Alt-Car, Atari Age, Destructoid, IGN, Indie Retro News, Low-Tech 64, Nintendo Life, Retro USB, Torrent Freak, Variety Magazine.